Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Spring Band Concert. And glad to see you folks coming out. I know this is a horrendously busy time of year for everybody. It's busy for us too. This is round 2 of concerts. Last week was Mr. Crawford's excellent choral concert. And this week is band. And next week is Mr. Crank. He gets to bring his wonderful orchestras in. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Now this group is intermediate band. Augmented a bit by concert band, since we had a complete instrumentation. They're going to do 2 numbers. The first number is a bit on the easy side because what happened was I was trying another piece with them, and it's something we've been learning out of the book about 6 8 time, and it didn't quite work. And with the test schedule and everything, I was looking at it and I said, okay, let's make this a challenge. This is relatively easy to learn. Can you learn it in 2 weeks? So they did. It's called Storm Surge. It's a relatively new thing written for a young band. And then the second piece is considerably more difficult. It's an adaptation of John Philip Sousa's Ferris to the Fair March, which was written when John Philip Sousa was touring county fairs all over the United States. And he was seeing a very pretty lady out in the audience, and he dedicated it to all of us. So that's why it was called Ferris to the Fair. We hope you enjoy the performance of the intermediate band tonight. If you notice, one of our trumpet players looks a little bit older than the rest of the group. No, we didn't fail him. He's actually passing the flying colors. Last fall, when we did our concert, we saw Mr. D with conducting up here, and part of his student-teacher training with me is he has to learn many different instruments. So I said, why don't you play trumpet with this group? And so this is Mr. Prep Eagle back here. It's just as much of a stretch for him to be playing trumpet as it is for me, because I'm a drummer and he's a bass player. So, it's a little bit different. Okay. Because in the real world, you don't get a lot of rehearsal time. We have a real luxury here in school being able to rehearse 5 days a week and really perfect things. So the concert band kids, raise your hands please so everybody knows who you are. Okay, they're going to remain up here, and we're going to file the rest of the intermediate students off. We're going to get the concert band up here. We've got 3 pieces to play for you with that group. Just a few seconds. But anyway, good chunk of it. This is concert band, as we call it. We're a more advanced level intermediate band. And the 2 opening selections are another march, this one this time by Carl King, who was another great march king. And he was a circus bandmaster, from what I understand. And so he wrote many things from the circus. Barnum Bailey's favorite march is one of those. Yes, that was the circus he belonged to, Barnum Bailey. That one was Sidney Barnum Bailey and Ringley Brothers Barnum Bailey Circus. This one is called The Aces of the Air. It's dedicated to all the brave trapeze artists, particularly the ones that tonight to go with no net down below. So that's our opener, Aces of the Air. And the second piece. Okay, before we present our last group of the evening, I do have some thank yous to do. Is Mrs. Evanson, Mrs. Jeannie Lee, and Mrs. Kamita here? Are they all here? Good, I'd like you to come up here for just a second. Are they all here?
They were here.
If somebody could flag them down, that'd be really good.
They're busy selling food.
Okay, here comes one.
Thank you.
Mrs. Evanson, and where's Mrs. Kamita? Is Mrs. Kamita here too? I have something to give you, ladies. Okay, well you can give it to her. I want to thank, this program wouldn't happen without a lot of great parent support. And you parents have been great to us. You supported our car wash, the funds from that, bought some instruments this year, and helped us keep rolling with our expense budget, which includes repairs and lots of other things. Because unfortunately, band instruments break. It's just the way they are. And they have to be repaired. I just got a bill back from, my some people were being rude. Please sit down. She ran away from us. You can give her hers. Okay, but we have some really great parents here that help spearhead things to make sure that it all happened. These are 2 of them, and there's a 3rd one, and I think they'll get this to them. I want to present you ladies each with a gift certificate to Yoshi's.
Wow. You shouldn't have. I also wouldn't survive here without 2 really great colleagues, Mr. Coppice and Mr. Frank. They're 2 of the best guys. Of course, as I told Symphonic Band, but this is the last time we're on stage this year for Symphonic Band. This is it. They're going on to their next adventure. So let's wish them all well. Of course, you'll see them in graduation at Lincoln. Now, the group you see up here, you will, if you want to make the trek to Berkeley tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock at the Jazz School. They're the opening band at the Middle School Invitational that Keith Johnson puts on every year. He's the director of the studio band program at Berkeley Jazz School. And so they get to come over to my side of the bay to visit the area I grew up in. And they're one of 3 bands performing tomorrow evening. And I understand from Mr. Johnson, provided I got that list in, you guys may be getting free tickets for your parents. We're driving you over. So That's a nice thing. And it's a real nice place to learn more about jazz. So this is jazz band. And we've had quite a year. So we're going to do 3 numbers for you. And the first number is Tito Puente's Zoya Comova, arranged by Victor Lopez. And it's going to feature Nick Mack on vibes, Esther Clark on piano. Yeah, she's been taking solos lately, and it's been a lot of fun listening to what she's done. And this baby monster on guitar, Harrison Linder. I cannot believe how far Harrison has come this year, because at the beginning of the year, he couldn't even figure out the first chord of the arrangement. And he took my advice, he went and found a good guitar teacher, and he has just been exploding all over the place. I can't wait to hear what he sounds like in 8th grade, because he's only a 7th grader. So this is Oye Como Va, and then the second piece will be a Benny Golson tune entitled Blues March, and that's going to feature Jana Kwan and Nika Bensing, and we'll probably feature a couple of rhythm section people too. We'll probably feature Nick on this, and then the third tune we're going to segue directly into. It's a Miles Davis sketch of a tune entitled It's About That Time, and it's supposed to come out a little bit differently. There's only 16 written measures. Everything else is done with hand signals. So we're going to see what we come up with tonight. And I noted there that the Hoover Jazz Band helps do the arrangement, because they give me suggestions for things, and we try some of them, and some of them work, some of them don't, but that's part of the adventure, because Miles' groups will like that too. And so on that one we'll feature, Esther is going to play electric violin on that. And Nika gets to play the Miles Davis part. And the John McLaughlin guitar part is played again by Harrison Linder. So we hope that you enjoy all 3 of these numbers. And yeah, there will be a direct segue between number 2 and number 3. So let's enjoy ourselves, kick back, and enjoy the great sounds of jazz band. Destin and Manchester down there too, down there. Okay, now it's time for a little blues march. Destin? There we go. Channel 5. There's the member. And on behalf of our principal, Mr. Graven, who is making sure that this doesn't get lost in the scheduling, even with all the so-called education reform going on, I want to thank him for that. And I hope we did you proud tonight, Mr. Graven. And you guys certainly did me proud tonight. Don't forget we got a gig tomorrow night. I want you to rock the jazz school even harder than tonight, okay? We're on. Come over early and catch the fireworks. Thank you very much for coming out on Thursday night, and you guys try to stay for the long haul. And thank you for letting me borrow your students for a few hours a day. They do, but when they channel all that energy they have, they've got wild, sometimes uncontrolled energy. You channel it into playing, it's really amazing what they do. This group's got a lot of fire. They had it on the first concert, they're really bringing it tonight. So now the third piece. There is a form of music that orchestras do. Mr. Grant is well familiar with that. And it is called a concerto grosso. And it features some concertato parts, which we call them, they're more soloistic parts that are done by two violins and a cello, and a full string orchestra. Well, we have a concerto gross. Yeah, that's the title, concerto gross. And we have 3 guest soloists tonight. I'm sure they're no strangers to any of you who've been around Hoover a long time. We have Mr. Van Austin. Breaking every dress code rule we have at Hoover is Mr. Compass, our fine choir director. And we have one of our science department up here, and everybody sees one side of Miss Ann Saloni in the classroom, and I thought that we should bring her back for an encore. She did this for me a couple of years ago, and all the kids found out she actually has a very good sense of humor doing all this, and she's been practicing madly. Across the hall, she found a copy on YouTube of this piece, and I've been hearing it all day. And so have her science classes. She's been practicing like mad. And Mr. Compass has been doing a little bit of that too. Oh yeah. And of course, the instruments they are playing, this is written, a concerto gross, the reason why it's called concerto gross is we have concert band or orchestra and 3 kazooes. And we thought that it'd be nice, since our kids played so well and so incredibly musically, they need to learn how to do proper musical wretched access too. So, and by the fact that these 3 faculty members decided to join us up here, it absolutely proves once and for all that none of them have any shame.
I, in the spirit of meeting you, God, you even get a real count on. 1, 2, 3, 4! Get up. All right, for 98, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go! Will you take the bow and the hands on it? Tracy? A bow from Mr. Caucus. And a bow from the very chapter of the Hills, Mr. Austin. It's very dangerous when you get two drama majors up here at the same time. I see. Well, thank you very much. Let's give our guests one more hand. Let's give them a hand. Now, I hope that's enough for extra access for 1 night, because we're not doing any more of that. And that was different than we did in the assembly yesterday, too. Very nice job of improv from Mr. Caucus and Mr. Austin. Okay, now we're going to bring the symphonic band up, so if concert band will up to the way we practiced this morning, we're going to send the band for an encore. And really appreciate that too. There's a real sort of unity in the program, I like to think, where one band isn't necessarily better than the other, that kids are willing to help out no matter what the band level is. I think that's really terrific, because a lot of band programs, it's not that way. So we want to keep it that way. It makes it more like family. And the third piece I'll come back and introduce later because it needs a little explaining. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. It needs a little explaining.